So you guys know about my Slinky Herringbone rope and how everybody in the world has gone crazy over making these gorgeous Slinky Herringbone ropes. And a bunch of people on Facebook, in our Facebook group, Jill Wiseman Designs Beaders, a bunch of people were asking me how they could join the ends of Slinky Herringbone rope together into a bangle. And it's actually a very simple thing to do, and so I thought I would demonstrate for you how to make that happen. So let's come in closer to the beads. Here, these are all using size 8 triangles, so these are some of the bigger ones. I just wanted you to be able to see better. But here's an example of what it would look like in a bangle form. And the bangles are nice because you can make them kind of tight here to your wrist, but they just will roll on like so. And so it's a very comfortable bangle to wear. It collapses a little bit with your wrist, so it's not gonna, if you're working on the computer or something, it's not gonna be uncomfortable. So these work really nice as bangles. So let's show you how you would join those two ends together. So here on this one, I got a little bit fancy and I decided to put a little bit of a stripe in on the design here. But one of the reasons I did that is I wanted for you to be able to see clearly a turquoise bead being joined to a white bead. I think it's just going to be easier to see, for you guys to see it coming together here. So the first thing that you want to do is get your length that you want established. And so I've already tested this and I know that this works. Some people are going to say, well, how did you test it? Well, actually in this particular case, I knew that this bangle fit me, and so I put this on top of this one and just made sure that it was about the same, which it is. But if you don't already have that done, what you can do is put your hand kind of like a duck bill, and then because this across your knuckles is going to be most likely going to be your widest point, and then I just bring the two ends together here underneath, and I want them to kind of touch. And it's actually okay even if they're a little bit short, because when you're rolling it, you can get it past there a little bit better. But this will show you that this is going to be perfect for the completion of this bangle. So that's how you're going to test it. So then the next thing that you have to make sure is that when you go to join the two ends, that you don't want to twist it. So, I mean, what if, well, I guess a twist could probably be a design option for you. I wanted my lines to be straight all the way around. So, and by that I mean these columns, these vertical columns. I want them to connect properly right here, as opposed to this, say, being super twisted like this. But as you can see, actually, as I'm doing that, that kind of gives it a pretty effect. But what I want to show you is how to make it straight. So what you're going to do is you're going to figure out which bead or which column your working thread is coming out of. You're going to follow that column down, and I usually kind of do it with my finger. Let's see here, I'm on this column. Wait, let me double check it. And the other thing that you can do, actually, and this is actually a really good tip, is just take a needle. You can follow it down with a needle. If you need to reposition yourself, you can stick that needle in one of the beads in that column to kind of give you a place marker, and then keep following that column down, follow it down, place marker, let's reposition, follow it down, follow it down, follow it down, follow it down, and this right here is the bead that we want this end to connect to. So you're like, great, Jill, but how am I going to do that when I'm trying to hold it and all that kind of thing? Well, get yourself another piece of fire line or thread, whatever you're using. This is a great way to use up a piece of scrap. So this is just a piece of scrap that I have here. And I'm going to I don't even have to thread a needle here because I'm using these size 8s. With an 11, you might have to thread a needle to do this. But I'm just going to poke this piece of fire line through this bead that we identified. Oh, look, it kind of wants to go through two of those beads in that column, which is totally fine. And then I'm just going to do a temporary overhand knot here. This is just a place marker so that I know which bead it is here that I want to attach the other end to without having to worry about keeping my eye on that one. Now I know that it's marked, okay? So here we go. So as you get this all set up, here's my thread coming out of here. I want to make sure that this is not twisted. So I'm going to just kind of make sure I can reasonably eyeball that all the way around. And then there's the side that I want to connect to. And this is just going to be a bit of basically circle stitching or ladder stitching as we do this, as we connect these. And so there's really not a lot of magic here to this. So I'm going to pass through the single bead, the single white bead, cream I guess to be technical. And the only downside of having this bookmark thread in here is that it's there to get in your way. But honestly, the minute that you've gotten yourself through that white bead, this bookmark thread can come off. So let's just, boop, get him out of there. All right, because now we know that it's connected properly. And then you're just going to pass down through the next white bead and then the next turquoise bead. So what we've done here is we come up, across, and down. And because this is a place of joining, I like to actually reinforce that. So I'm going to go up that original first column again, because it's kind of loosey-goosey at this point. And then down. Okay, oops, and let's go down there. And then you're going to move across to the next set of beads here. So it's up and down. See how there's kind of a opening right there? We can actually help fix that right now by going up through the next bead to help tighten those two together. And then let's go down the next set. And you're just rolling this around, going section by section. So let me go back and reinforce that one that I just did. Down again. So that was the reinforcement. Now let's roll to the next column of beads. Doing this, make sure that you're doing it when you have some really good lighting available to you. Right here, I'm trying to get kind of to the inside of this bangle. Remember that this will roll for you. So I just put it down, rolled it to where now the spaces that I need to get to are on the outside of the bangle again. But seriously, having some good lighting so that you can see where these columns are lining up will make your life a lot easier. So it's not a good thing to do like late at night, especially if your eyes are tired or something. Do it during the day when you've got some good daylight, you've got some good lights around your workspace, and your eyes are fresh. I speak from personal experience because there have been times when I've been trying to do this with a bangle and I basically wanted to throw it across the room, and it was because it was late at night and I was tired and my eyes were tired, and when I got up the next day and did it, I had no trouble at all. So sometimes you just have to walk away from the beads for a little bit. All right, so at this point we are joined all the way around. What I want to do is go through one or two more of these green beads. There we go. We'll get it down there a little bit. All right, so there's our join completely all the way around. Now you're going to notice that this is straightened out right here in the join a little bit. See how the white beads are all straightened out as opposed to here you've got the herringbone V effect. There's two reasons for that. One is because I started this with a ladder stitch start, which makes these sit that way. The second is because when we did this join, that also makes them sit a little less in that V shape and more straight up and down. There's just really no way of getting around that to do that as a bangle. And honestly, this is one of those times when if somebody is looking that closely at your beadwork and they have the bad taste to say something about it, they are invading your personal space, and tell them they need to back up and make their own project. But now all I'm going to have to do is go down a column here, end this thread off, and ta-da! I'm going to have a new bangle to wear. I'm really excited about this. I like the little accent stripe in there. I think it's going to be fun. You know what I want to do with this is I would like to make one that is the reverse, where I've got the white with a turquoise stripe in it and wear it as a set. I think that'll be cool, huh? Bet you'll see it on an upcoming video. So super simple. I hope that helps you guys make bangles out of these slinky herringbone ropes. I love working with the triangles and this beautiful supple rope that they create. Remember that I have got tons and tons of colors of both the size 11 size triangles and the size 8 size triangles that you need to make these kinds of projects at JillWisemanDesigns.com. I'll see you next time. Happy beading!